Hi, it's Sam here again with another episode of Whiteboard Wednesdays. And last week I talked to you about content repurposing, which is the idea that you're going to take a piece of content like a blog post that's on your website and try and work out a way of sending it to as many people as possible. So you're always sending people back to your website via lots and lots of different types of pieces of content or distribution processes, so platforms, for example. So last week I talked to you about the beginner's level, and if you felt that that wasn't quite enough and you want some more, then good news, because we're going to move on to an intermediate level. And I've got lots of ideas here about how you can use content repurposing, content redistribution to make sure that your beautiful piece of writing that you might have spent hours of blood, sweat and tears over goes as far as possible and attracts as many people as possible. So let's start off with some other platforms you might not be using at the moment. Are you using Instagram, for example? Now, Instagram does have a little bit of a difficulty, a bit of a challenge in that it doesn't allow you to put your link in a post. Of course, you can put a link in the post, you can copy and paste it, but it's not a clickable link. So that's not going to send people back to your website. So how can you get around this? Well, what we do is we put it in our bio. And what you don't want is just your latest blog post in your bio. You need your regular blog URL in your bio. If you're going to send people back to your website using your post, then it needs to go to sort of a general URL, which would be for us /blog. So we might want to send people back to ashdownjones.co.uk/blog. That way we can say our latest blog link is in the bio, and we know that when they go to that blog post, when they go to the blog, they're always going to see our latest blog post on there. So Instagram can be a great source of traffic for you if you use it well, and if you always put a nice colourful image of your blog on it. You will need a square image of your blog for it to show properly, although you can see landscape and portrait images. A square image is nice and safe for Instagram. So create one of those too, using something like PicMonkey or Canva. Same with Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is a massive source of traffic for lots and lots of blogs, particularly for anything to do with houses, interior design, clever home hacks, sort of crafty kind of topics, anything to do with that, and it's right up there in the most popular topics on Pinterest. So over the years, I use Pinterest to send traffic to Home Truths, which is one of my original sites for content for sellers, and it still sends a massive amount of traffic. 8,000 or 9,000 people every single month come just via Pinterest alone. So if you're not using Pinterest, you might be missing a massive opportunity. So what is Pinterest? Well, it's kind of like, it's based on the kind of scrapbook feel of making sure that you've got lots and lots of images that represent the albums that you're trying to promote. So they have odd terminology, like a pin is just an image and a board is an album. So it's a little bit different from Facebook. And as I say, it's based on the scrapbook lingo, if you like. So what you could do is you could put together an album of your blog posts, in which case each image that goes, each pin that goes in on that board is a picture of a blog post. So your main blog image with the writing on it, saying what the blog is about. Usually we find that long, thinner images work best on Pinterest because they show better in the newsfeed on Pinterest. So a portrait image is usually really good for that, but a square will also do. You put a little bit of an excerpt from the blog post, you put your link in there, and that sends people back to your site. So people use Pinterest as a kind of search engine. They might go on and look for, I don't know, cozy log cabin interiors, or they might go on and look for great bedroom ideas, those kind of things. And what happens then is they see lots and lots of different pins from all over the world. They can click on the pin and then they can click on it again to go to that person's website, and that website could be yours if you use Pinterest. LinkedIn article. Did you know you can actually publish an article on LinkedIn? I don't mean the link, which we talked about in last week's Whiteboard Wednesday video. I actually mean the whole article in its entirety. So you take your post, your blog post, probably the Word document is the better and safer option here. You copy all the text and you paste it into a LinkedIn article. And the good thing about LinkedIn articles is they get shown to everybody who follows you on LinkedIn. So if you've got a good number of followers, then that's a really good way of getting it to people, quickly. It also helps you build your followers as well. So not only are you distributing well, you're also building your audience base at the same time. And LinkedIn lets you put a nice big header image at the top, lets you put images in the text as you go down. It lets you customize some of the text so it looks a bit like a quote with quote marks and it's centered and everything. It's bigger text. So it looks really good. And you can put as many links and calls to action in as you possibly want. So it's a great way of getting your content out there. And we always put all our content on LinkedIn as an article too. Let's move on to video. I know how much you love video, of course. Why not create a video about your blog post? Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. If it was 6 things to do before a viewing, you can actually talk about the 6 things to do before a viewing. So you might have the notes behind your phone, just stick your phone on a tripod, which is what I've got mine on now. And you can have just the bullet points and you can just talk about each of those bullet points. And at the end, you can say, if you'd like to read the full article, go here and put the link in. Alternatively, you can do a little promo video. So you could say, I've just written a post called 6 things to do before a viewing. So if you're wondering what to do before your viewings, all you need to do is go to our latest blog post, link is in this text here, and we'll explain to you exactly what you need to do before a viewing. So that's a way of promoting your blog post. Alternatively, I suppose if you wanted a third choice is, let's say the 6 things to do before a viewing, you could just say the first 2 and say for the other 4, go to our blog post. So, and then you upload it to Facebook. You could also, of course, upload it to any of the platforms. But on this one, we're just talking about Facebook video. You give it a title, you give it a little description. You've uploaded it so people can see on Facebook. Don't have to click to go anywhere else. So Facebook really likes it. You can even put a little boost behind it if you wanted to. Okay, next one is Twitter mini quiz. I was struggling with how to describe this because we don't actually have a quiz on Twitter. We might do a did you know or where do you think this is? That's what I mean by a mini quiz. So a quick question. So let's say it's 6 things to do before a viewing. This could be what are your top tips for viewing? So you could ask for people to contribute what they think, or you could say something like find out why we suggest you burn apple wood before a viewing as opposed to any other kind of logs, and then let people elicit their answers as well. What else could you do? Something like how could you use bounce tumble dry sheets before a viewing? Find out by going to our 6 things to do before a viewing blog. If you'd like to know about that, then you can put it in the comments below and I'll let you know. So that's Twitter mini quiz. The other thing is, of course, you've got all these people on your database. If they'd like to receive your blog, and you do need to ask them in advance really, you can then send them out a little excerpt and you can just say, we've just written this blog post, 6 things to do before a viewing. Would you like to read it? This is the link, and just send them there. So that's another 6 different ways that you can repurpose or redistribute your content. This was part 2, which is for intermediates. We're about to go and show you part 3, and that'll be on next week's Whiteboard Wednesday, and I'll see you then. And by the way, if you're not already in our Firewave group, then click on the link below and we'll take you straight to the Firewave group. And if you make a request, then we will accept you as long as you're an independent estate agent, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this. And what you'll find in there, lots and lots more content, tips, advice and strategies from Phil and I, and look forward to seeing you there. Thanks very much and see you on the next video. Bye for now.